Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayat Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhaddeshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavatir Naishtikir. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 7, Verse 40. Etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivatsaya bruhi me gyasya mitratvat ajaya nashta chakshusha. Etan me prichata prashnan hare karma vivatsaya bruhi me gyasya mitratvat ajaya nashta chakshusha. Etan, all these, me, my, prichataha, of one who inquires, prashnan, questions, hare, of the Supreme Lord, karma, pastimes, vivatsaya, desiring to know, bruhi, kindly describe, me, unto me, agyasya, of one who is ignorant, mitratvat, because of friendship, ajaya, by the external energy, nashta chakshusha, those who have lost their vision. Translation. My dear sage, I have put all these questions before you with the view of knowing the pastimes of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the friend of all, so kindly describe them for all those who have lost their vision. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Vidura put forward many varieties of questions with the view to understanding the principles of transcendental loving service to the Lord. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 41, devotional service to the Lord is one, and the mind of the devotee is not diverted to the many branches of uncertainties. Vidura's purpose was to be situated in that service to the Lord, wherein one merges undivertedly. He claimed the friendship of Maitreya Muni, not because he was Maitreya's son, but because Maitreya was actually the friend of all who had lost their spiritual vision due to material influence. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathamritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarupyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I hope you all are well. Happy Dwadasi feasting today. So today we will be looking at Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, verse 7. Chapter 7, verse 40, where Vidura has summed up all of his questions that he would like to ask Maitreya Muni. And Vidura Maharaj, he kindly requests with this beautiful humility, this beautiful prayer in front of Maitreya Muni, to encourage him to speak about the beautiful pastime. So we're almost wrapping up chapter 7 and going on to Maitreya Muni's discussion. So let us take a look at the way Maitreya Muni, the way Vidura Maharaj relates to Maitreya Muni in this way. So Vidura Maharaj, he puts forward all of these questions. We've gone through all of them in great depth in our previous classes. So over here, all the way from verses 23 to 39, they're all questions regarding the cosmic manifestation and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, Vidura Maharaj is asking about the original Purusha. He's asking about the different powers of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The process manifests in the forms of sons and grandsons. How the leader of the demigods decided to establish the Manus, the heads of the ages, how the planets are situated above the earth. So many different things, how the birds came to be, the beasts, the plants, the vegetables, the material modes of nature, the incarnations of them known as Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, the orders of human society known as Varnashrama, the sacrifices, the path of mystic powers, the imperfections and contradictions, the faithless atheists, all of these things, religiosity, the list goes on and on and on. And so, so many things Vidura is asking Maitreya Muni. But the ultimate aim of all of his questions is listed in this verse. It is to learn about the pastimes of Lord Hari. It is to inquire about one's relationship with the Supreme. So one takeaway we can get from this verse is that the ultimate aim of all questions is to understand our relationship with the Supreme. And Vidura Maharaj is not asking direct questions about Lord Krishna. He's not asking what color is Lord Krishna's dhoti. He's not asking what is his favorite animal. He's not asking direct questions. He's asking these questions regarding the cosmic manifestation that will ultimately lead to questions about Lord Krishna. And so one might ask, why doesn't Vidura Maharaj ask directly about the pastimes of Sri Hari? Well, he does in the previous chapters, but he doesn't do so. He does so because he knows that any sort of inquiry regarding the cosmic manifestation, when asked to someone who has seen the truth through the descending process of knowledge, not the ascending process where we have inductive knowledge, but through the knowledge process which comes through the Vedas. Ultimately, all inquiry regarding the cosmic manifestation, how it came to be, why we are here, any existential sort of question, why are we in these bodies? Any sort of those questions will ultimately lead us to learning about Sri Hari, to learning about God. So with that ultimate aim in mind, Vidura Maharaj is asking all of these questions to Maitreya Muni. And so, as we'll see in the next few chapters, I especially loved the next few chapters because, we're taught so many things in school about how things came to be. And so I don't have, until I read Srimad Bhagavatam, or I'm reading Srimad Bhagavatam, I didn't have the power or the capacity to think that there could be ever something different. Like I loved Krishna, I understood Krishna, I loved my relationship with Krishna. But until I read these next few chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, I couldn't understand, oh, this is the Vedic side of cosmic manifestation. This is what actually happened. And it started to make sense as I started to see it in my everyday life, how it came to be. So we see that the importance of this inquiry, as we'll see in the further chapters, will help us in understanding the Vedic cosmic manifestation. And it makes so much sense when I read it after a while. So the ultimate aim of all inquiry is to understand our relationship with the Supreme Lord. And Srila Prabhupada, I will quote him now. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 41, devotional service to the Lord is one, and the mind of the devotee is not diverted by the many branches of uncertainties. So if we take a look at Bhagavad Gita 2.41, it is that famous verse, Vyavasahitmika buddhir, ekehe kurunandana, bahushakta hi anantascha, buddhayo vyavasahitnam. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. So here from this verse, I put this picture on the slides of a tree that is going all over the place over here. So when one has this business-minded intelligence, and I'm quoting Gauranga Prabhu on this, when one has business-minded intelligence, one is not diverted by the silly things outside. So he gives this example of a professional musician. When he sits down to play his guitar or play the harmonium or sing beautiful music, he does so with resolute purpose to make the most exquisite music possible, to train himself, to fully be immersed in his practice. Let's say, well, I'm making some khichdi and I want to sing a small tune, or I'm going on a walk and I listen. I suddenly remember this one song that was playing in the grocery store, or suddenly something happens and I start singing. That is just the everyday ho-hum singer. But the true person who will get the most nectar out of their practice is that person who approaches their practice with vyavasahitmika buddhi, with this business-minded intelligence. And so we see that modeled to us by Vidura Maharaj. He's asking so many questions, and we can think that his knowledge is many-branched, but he opens his heart to Maitreya Muni, and he says, the ultimate aim of all of my questions is just so I, as well as all other living entities. Now we are sitting on this Zoom call and learning about Maitreya, about all the cosmic manifestations, simply because Vidura Maharaj opened his heart and asked these questions. So inquiry is so important. Anyways, I was saying, to understand our relationship with the Supreme, because that was his business-minded intelligence towards learning about Krishna. And so Krishna is addressed here as Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Hari means he who steals away the distresses of his devotees and ultimately steals their minds by excellent transcendental qualities. So ultimately, by this speaking of the Srimad Bhagavatam to Vidura Maharaj, just regarding some, not some dry philosophical things like the cosmic manifestation, simply by speaking about that, ultimately, the pastimes of Lord Hari will ultimately steal away the mind. So there won't be any need to think about anything else. So anything else but Sri Hari. And so here I was thinking that, perhaps I'm going a little far by saying this, but Hari means he who steals away the distresses of his devotees. And here, our number one distress, as explained by Vidura Maharaj, is that we have lost our vision. So here, Lord Sri Krishna is stealing away the curtain of our ignorance so that we can see him clearly through the eyes of our Jnana Chakshu, or our knowledge, our vision of knowledge. And Maitreya Muni is acting as the guru who is allowing us to see clearly. In the very beginning, we always do this Mangalacharan invocation prayer, Om Ajnanati Mirandasya. I bow down to that spiritual master who brought the torchlight of knowledge to me, who was totally engrossed in worldly darkness. To him I bow down. And so something I wanted to talk about is this loss of vision that we feel. One loss of vision, and this is something I've heard from Jaya Jagannath Prabhu, so I'd like to give him the credit for this, so all glories to him. So there are two types of loss of vision when we can lose our vision. One, it is when it's too dark. When it was recent, so when it is too dark, it's the new moon, the moon is not out, the stars are not out, we can't even see our hand in front of our face. What to speak about ourselves, our internal work. We cannot see absolutely anything, not even the hand in front of our face. I remember once there was a thunderstorm and my cousin was coming over. So it was really dark and I didn't want to wake up my mom. So I went to check up on her. But she had come out to check up on me. So she was standing in the doorway and I just fell to my feet as soon as I just sensed someone was there, because I could not see her. I could not find her. I was so scared, but she was just my nice, sweet cousin just standing in the doorway. But I thought she was a monster for a second because it was so dark and there was thunder and I was so scared. So this is also a symptom of one who is in darkness, is constant anxiety about what will happen. So another type of blindness is when there's too much light. And so let me explain this a little. The eye has the potential to see. It has the ability to see. And we'll see in the next few chapters, we go into this. The eye has the potential to see, but it cannot see without the assistance from an external source outside of itself. So here I have this light in front of me. We have the sun in front of us. But without an external source, we can't see. So although we have the ability to see, that ability to see comes to its true potential when there is some external source, like some small artificial light or something as like the sun. But when there is too much light, and this is known as the polychromatic effect, when we look at the sun for too long, we stare away, there are some polychromes, these colorful sparks that come to our eyes, and we can't see anything. So when there's too much light, we can't see anything. So in this analogy, when there's too much knowledge, too much information, we become paralyzed in our ability to act and make decisions. So maybe all of you will relate. In this world, one of our main true virtues is unlimited information. We have so much news, so much Facebook, so much Instagram, so much news all around us that are always begging for our attention in different ways. And so one can experience this information overload where they're paralyzed in their ability to make decisions. There's so much going on in the world that and so much misinformation, disinformation, that we become paralyzed in our ability to act. So, and this can also happen in our spiritual life when we don't take the time to understand really what we have read. So when there is too much knowledge and when there is too much darkness, we become paralyzed in our vision to see. So the cure for that is something like our Srimad Bhagavatam class today, where we take one verse every day and we reflect on it, we think about it, and we speak on it. So something a little bit about the information polychromatic effect. So when there's too much light, we have a difficulty seeing, and when there's too much dark, we have difficulty seeing. So finding the right balance and finding the right information to watch, such as the pastimes of Lord Hari, will ultimately help us see clearly. One last thing is how Maitreya Muni is referred to as the friend of all. So Maitreya Muni is recognized as a friend of all because he's a devotee of the Lord, and he's actively trying to tell everyone about Krishna consciousness, preach this conversation of Vidura Maharaj. And Maitreya Muni goes on for so long with so many stories, so many beautiful pastimes, and it goes on so long because Maitreya Muni is so, and we'll say this in the next chapter, he is so enthusiastic about sharing his experience of bhakti yoga with the world. And so that is what we require, is devotees who are actively trying to spread the glories of Krishna everywhere they go. And we have the example of our spiritual masters, the guru of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada, all of them as examples who are friends of those who have lost their spiritual vision due to material influence. So one thing I wanted to add is the name Maitreya is derived from the Sanskrit Maitri, or friendliness. So Maitreya Muni is also the friend of all through his beautiful name. But really the true reason why he is the friend of all is because he's a devotee of the Lord. And he's actively trying to give everyone this knowledge. In the Sad Goswami Ashtakam, there is this beautiful line that whenever I hear it, I feel inspired to follow in the footsteps of the six Goswamis. It goes, Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamrito Bhunibhi. And it goes, this is my favorite line. Dhira adhira jana priya priya karo nirmatsara pujito. So it's so beautiful. Dhira, those who are sober-minded, peaceful. Adhira, those who are not sober-minded, those who are mean, those who are envious. Dhira, adhira jana, priya priya karo. They are pleasing to the hearts of the dhira and the adhira, the sober-minded and the not sober-minded. Nirmatsara pujito. They are worshipped by the non-envious. And so this line truly, these few words, they always hit me because we see even in the life of the six Goswamis, Sanatan Goswami, he was so dear to the Nawab king at that time. The Nawab king at that time was, I was reading, he was quite cruel, and he was not a great king. He used to do many terrifying acts to his citizens, but yet he used to address Sanatan Goswami as his brother, my dear brother, when Sanatan Goswami decided to leave the company of the Nawab Hussain. He became so sad, he became so angry at Sanatan Goswami. Why are you leaving me? You're like a brother to me. And so I was just reading this. Even those who are envious and cruel-hearted, the six Goswamis are even dear to their heart. And that is the beauty of true devotee. Of course, it is not meant for us to mimic because it's not possible, only by the blessings. And I've read this from Srila Prabhupada in the KK Bindu edition recently. Only through the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Mahaprabhu can someone be as wonderful as the six Goswamis or as Nityananda Mahaprabhu, who can be a friend to really all people. So this idea of being a friend to all is a beautiful, beautiful idea that we can take inspiration from through the beautiful, devotionally minded people of our ISKCON tradition and the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. So with that, talk about devotees being friends of all, I would like to open up to all of you who are also friends of all people, because you're coming here to discuss Krishna Katha with me and taking the time to talk to me. If there's any reflections, I would love to hear. Such a beautiful verse, short verse, but so much nectar. If anyone would like to speak, Hare Krishna. We have 4 minutes.
Hello.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. I want to ask you that, I want to ask everyone, so what is the, what to eat in Chaturmas? Can you describe something about that? First month, what to eat, next month, what to eat?
I don't know much about Chaturmasya vows, but I'm sure if I did a quick recheck, I don't know if any other Prabhujis, Matajis have answered that question, but I don't know.
The
So
first month, we fast from leafy vegetables.
Mhm.
So you can eat any other form of Krishna Prasadam, but to avoid leafy vegetables. I believe the second month is fasting from milk. Third month is fasting from yogurt. And fourth month is fasting from urad dal.
Okay. Got it, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Any other reflection?
Hare Krishna. I like the vision example where, with excess amount of vision, like when we're driving on the sunlight in the car, we get blurry. And side by side, when we are wearing a sunglass and going inside a tunnel, we don't see anything. So similar, like case I think Surabhi explained, I really, like that part. Just wanted to add over here. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Surabhi Sundarachala Mataji, for the wonderful Nectarian class. It's 7 o'clock. I'd like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. I think everybody is probably silent because there's a breaking fast time and everybody would have jumped in eating pizza and this and that and whatnot. Hurry, hurry, to break their fast. We like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Nrsimha, Jai
Jai
Nrsimha,
Nrsimha,
Jai
Shri
Nrsimha,
Nrsimha, Jai Jai
Prahlade,
Nrsimha,
Jaya Padma,
Prahlade, Jaya
Padma,
Padma, Mukha Padma, Pranga,
Ugra
Gambhiram
Veeram,
Viram
Mahavishnu,
Mahavishnu,
Sarantam,
Sarvatam
Sarvatam,
Mukham,
Nrsimham
Darshamam
Bhisham
Bhishtam
Bhattram,
Bhattam
Mrityum
Vitram
Namami Aham.
Mrityum Namami Aham.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai,
Ki
Prahlad
Jai,
Maharaj ki Jai.
Maharaj Ki Jai.
Let us offer our humble obeisances at the lotus feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Kripa
kripa
Sindhu
sindhuvya
Vacha
patitanam
Krishna
pavanebhyo
Taram Pavanabhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo
Namo
namaha.
Vaishnavinda ki
Vaishnavinda
Jai,
Ki Jai.
Jai.
Bhagavatam ki Jai,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada
Jai.
ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Oh,
Jai.
Premanande, Hari
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Surabhi.
Thank you, Surabhi Mataji. Thank you.
Haribol, Hare
Wonderful
Krishna.
class. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful class, really.
Thank you, Shakti Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Surabhi Mataji. Wonderful class. Amazing. Thank you very much.